Whenever you're winning and whenever things are falling into place, you have to stay silent. You're not supposed to go out and boast and tell everybody, oh yeah, these are my next moves. This is what I'm going to do next. Whenever you are winning and whenever things are falling into place, you must stay silent. This is something that I didn't really understand the importance of, and I ended up putting my dreams and goals inside of the ears of people that didn't need to hear them. The thing is, when you're working on yourself and you're doing something so diligently and it's honest work, right? And you're working so hard to elevate to that next level, you don't need to go out and boast about anything, because the reason about that is your results and the things that you're putting forth to show the work that you've been putting in, the results are going to show themselves. The people that love you and the people that hate you and the people that are in the middle, they're all gonna see it. So there's no reason why, like, especially when you're in that stage of development of getting to that next level, why you have to go out and tell everybody. And the reason I bring this up, and I brought this up in a couple of my other videos, is because not everybody that's around you and that is surrounding you is necessarily for you. Not everybody that seems and appears to be in your corner and seems to be rooting for you is actually rooting for you. And this is something that I've had to understand. This is something that I've had to experience multiple times for me to understand the importance of this. So obviously, with me telling you this, if you've experienced this or you feel like you're experiencing this now, I want to shortcut your success as fast and the most efficiently as possible, because it's really unfortunate. This happens. There's a lot of people that are around us, and me personally speaking from my experience, I was doing something for a while. I was kind of down. I was trying to find my way. I was trying to find the things that I wanted to do to get to that next level. And I was tired of pleasing people. I wanted to do something for myself. I wanted to please myself. Not only that, I wanted to see myself. I wanted to push myself to my limits, and I wanted to see myself just in a better light. I started working on myself. I separated myself, and I did all the necessary work to do what I needed to do to get to the next level. The reason I'm bringing this background information in is because this work was honest work. I was doing my thing. I was working. Like I said, I was separating myself. And within that, with me separating myself, there were a lot of people that kind of criticized me for it. But the thing is that people don't understand is that when you're separating yourself and you're doing something different and you're trying to break the mold, you're trying to do something that's not ordinary that everybody else does, you have to do things that other people aren't willing to do. There's a lot of people out here that say that they want something different, but aren't putting in the effort to actually do something different. I was putting in the effort, and when people do that, when people were seeing me do that, they were saying, oh man, Will's acting different. Will's doing this, Will's doing that. It's because they couldn't find in their mind to say that Will's actually tired of being where he's at right now. Will is actually doing something for him to change. And this obviously comes from the people that are okay with being where they're at. There are multiple people in this world and multiple people that you've most likely crossed paths with, and because I have as well, it's kind of inevitable that are okay with just being normal. But the thing is, a lot of people that put on this front, and not even put on this front, but basically convince themselves that they're ordinary, they have extraordinary things about them, but because they seek the approval of others, because they are okay with just being normal, because they don't want to break the mold, because they don't want to be criticized or thought of differently, they stay in that exact same bubble. And this lasts for a lifetime if you don't do anything about it. My thing is, I was just sick and tired of being sick and tired. I saw myself in the exact same place and I wanted to change, so I made the change. It was to a point I was like losing sleep over it. I was like, I want to change and I want to get to that next level. So I had to do the things. And in that space, and I brought this up, you have to be willing to be alone for a season. And here's the difference. Alone and lonely are two different things. Alone means you're actually working on yourself. Lonely means that you are physically like craving some type of partner or some type of interaction. And these are two different things, because when you're alone, you're actually working on yourself. You're working on your craft. You're working on the things that are important that are going to bring you to that next level. And that's what you have to do. You're not going to be able to be surrounded by the people that basically you grew up with, or the people that you were necessarily around for that season before you got to where you are right now in that alone time, right? Because not everybody's going to understand one. And honestly, not everybody needs to see exactly what you're going to do and what you're doing in order to get to where you need to do, or wherever you need to be. Sorry. And that was my main purpose of saying, whenever you are winning, whenever you are working on yourself, whenever you're elevating to that next level, stay silent. There are multiple people that will chirp your name, and that will put your name in rooms that you never even stepped in and put a negative shadow on your name. But the thing is that you know who you are and you know the work that you're putting in. So it shouldn't matter. Ultimately, if you've gotten to this space of being alone and you've gotten to this space of just working on yourself and becoming better, then whatever anybody else says, you know it's not true, so it shouldn't even be a concern of you. This was one thing that I had to understand because I had this. I experienced this. There were people that were shooting down my name and that were doing these like really weird things, and I never really understood it, but it kind of made sense to me because I was doing something that maybe they wanted to do and that they were inspired to do, but they couldn't actually do it. I was the one that did it. So because they weren't able to do it and because I was doing it, I automatically saw it as they took offense to me doing it, so they only had the option to shoot my name down. And that happens to a lot of people. I've seen this happen to multiple people. I've seen it happen to a lot of my friends. And ultimately, you have to be willing to surround yourself with people that aren't going to do that. The same circle, like I said, that you grew up with might not be the same circle where you're making $10,000, $20,000 a month. More than likely, it's not going to be the exact same circle. You have to elevate, and you have to also elevate your surroundings. Elevate your surroundings, and your surroundings will elevate you. So the reason I wanted to say this is because when you put in the work, when you put in the effort, your results will show. Results don't lie. You know what I mean? People say, oh yeah, I've been working super hard, I've been doing all this stuff, and then their results show something different. Results are not like man that they should ever lie. There are a lot of people that hype up what they do, but ultimately, if they really were doing that and they really were about what they're saying and explaining what they tell everybody, then their results would also be matching up to it. You don't have to be that person that hypes up your results and hypes up what you're doing and then matches your results. The thing is, you have to stay humble. You have to stay very consolidated. You have to be in solitude for a little bit, and you have to stay there until it's actually there. Because like I said, it doesn't matter who is in your corner. It doesn't matter who's not in your corner. Your results are going to be shown and your results are going to be seen by everybody. So just stay silent, man. I mean, honestly, like really and honestly, why I wanted to put so much emphasis on this, because when you're celebrating early, when you're putting all of this emphasis on, I'm doing this big thing and the job isn't even finished, you are gaining unwanted attention. And honestly, you might be even provoking some type of competition. We're competitors by nature. If somebody, like I was explaining earlier in this video, and like I explained in a couple of my other videos, when people see you doing something different from what they do, or seeing something that they wanted to do, or they just don't have like the guts to actually do, that gives them, or it provokes and like an offense out of them. So you can't keep doing that. I'm telling you, I've experienced this multiple times, and I don't want you to experience that, because when you work so hard for something, and you work on yourself for such a long time, and you've been diligent in your work, and it's been honest work, and it all goes to the trash because everything just starts hitting the fan because you started celebrating about it too early, or you started telling people about it too early, that's not a good feeling. And that's not anything that I want anybody to ever feel. I don't want anybody to have to experience that. Even though that might be an experience that has to be had on the road to success or on the road to getting to where you want to go, if it's lessened in any type of degree, then hey, if this video did that for you, then hey, my job is done. My thing is, I want to make sure that everybody, especially when they are finding themselves, whenever they're finding who they are and what they can do and just pushing the limits of themselves and just becoming better and seeing themselves in a better light, the last thing you want is for other people to rain on your parade. That's not anything that you need, because when you're alone in that season, that's a very vulnerable and developmental stage. Only you and only you in that stage right there. And that's when you understand and honestly just start to see that it's only really just you in this world. Obviously, you have family members. Obviously, you have friends that love you and people that support you. But the only person that can truly save you is you. You have to make the executive decision to actually do that and be willing to get uncomfortable for a little bit. There's a lot of people, and I talk about this all the time, there's so many people just stuck in their comfort zones that being uncomfortable or even just stepping on the other side of the fence intimidates them so much. So when they aren't able to do that, that's very sensitive. That's a sensitive topic. When other people are able to do that, it brings out offense. It's a very emotional response. And I didn't understand the depth of this until I've seen it happen, not only to myself and experience it, but I've seen it happen to multiple other people. So when you are winning, stay silent, because I promise you, when you stay silent and you stay diligent and you stay humble, your results will not only show themselves, but you will show yourself that you are more than capable of anything and everything that you can even put your mind to. And this is what it's all about. So that was basically it for me. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for all the love that y'all are showing me. And as I say in every single one of my videos, I know this from my personal experience, because I know if it's been able to help me, then it'll definitely be able to help you too. So I appreciate y'all again. Thank y'all. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace out.